Okay, so Evac. And obviously I'm going to be playing the monster. Okay, so vote time. What monster? And because... oh, no, sorry. Hold on. I don't want to. I'm never going to find a match. Solo. Evacuation. Monster. So go ahead and pick the monster. Goliath, Kraken, Wraith, anything goes, because I don't have to worry about people's feelings getting hurt by playing the Wraith, since it's still a bit strong right now. Okay, Wraith, Goliath, Wraith, Kraken. Okay, so it looks like it's between Wraith and Kraken right now. No, Kraken, Goliath. Behemoth. I would love to try the Behemoth out. I'd like to playtest that a little bit more. I like Bucket. His personality is probably one of my top 3 or 4 favorites. I don't like the UAV and sentry turret anti-synergy, and I really want to see him as an assault instead of a support, because supports, the other two bring something that actually supports the team, and I don't believe that Bucket actually does that, and so I think it's kind of a misnomer, and I'd be happy with him just upping up his damage all across the board and making him an assault. I think he'd be fine. I'd be okay with a UAV with the ability of a personal shield, so if you do get attacked, you can personal shield when you get attacked. It just kind of makes a little bit more sense. But I'm not the game developer, so I'm not sure. Unannounced 5th monster. Okay, so Goliath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, that's a lot of Wraith. Kraken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, so it's tied. Oh, it looks like Kraken. Yep, Kraken just barely beat out. Okay, so Kraken it is. Unannounced 5th monster. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and randomize. I actually have a website to randomize this now. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice. And this is going to tell me the entire setups for all 5 matches. So the first match, I am playing... hold on, let me actually pick my skills first. What is this, damn? Like that. Okay, so for this one, I have Laz, Hank, Griffin, and Parnell. Awesome. This is a little bit better. Thank you for linking me that, because this makes it a lot easier to choose instead of just clicking the button a bunch of times to randomize. I would like to see a randomized option, though. That'd be cool. Okay, so I'll do Wraith next after this. So let's go ahead and start. There we go. Yeah, it's a really good game. It's interesting because asymmetrical games don't have a lot of there aren't a lot of them out in the world, but I feel that they are fantastic, especially against human players, because there's never going to be a solid strategy, because the meta will change very, very quickly, because it lacks that symmetry. See, in symmetry, sometimes you need to ban things and stuff like that. Shit. They have a Laz and a Griffin. Okay, so sneaking it is. So let's make some false threats. I'm going to pretend like I'm playing against real people. And so what I usually do is set off some false traps like most monsters seem to do these days. So I'm following the in-crowd. And I like going back here sometimes, simply because there's a lot of good food in this direction. You can find Canyon Striders and Mammoth Birds, which have very, very good buffs, especially for Kraken. The movement speed and the cooldown reduction are amazing, and plus they're good for food as well. This sandstorm feels like that movie Alien 3, if you guys have seen it, on Fury, when it totally like just getting shit on by like the weather. That was bad. Oh fuck. Okay, so yes, I'll describe the gameplay. So right now I'm a monster, and as the monster, you'll see up at the very top of the screen a blue bar, as well as a red bar. The red bar is health, and that's basically a permanent resource that you can't really regenerate very well, outside of weird things which I'm not too worried about right now explaining. And so those are my skills. You can see them going down on cooldowns, and then when I eat, I get this little blue bar around me. That builds up a evolve meter, and so now I can go ahead and evolve. So at stage 1, the monster is the weakest, and so he usually tries to play a hiding game from the monster or from the hunters, because at stage 2 you're kind of on even terms, and then eventually you can get to stage 3, in which case the monster has an advantage. So then the hunter becomes the hunted. And when you level up, you get 3 skill points that you can put into a variety of different skills. Putting 1 point into it unlocks a skill. Any more points usually increases the damage, the range, and basically the efficiency of that. Where the hell are the hunters? This is why I hate the bots. The bots are just god-awful. They can never find you unless you want them to. Even when I made birds, I don't know. And so my goal is to either kill all of the hunters, or get to stage 3 and an optional objective comes up to destroy the power relay. And what that does is that is basically just another alternate victory condition. So now I'm at full armor. I like to engage the hunters at this stage, just because it's usually equal terms. And I have a really good combat buff. There they are. So the monster I'm playing right now is Kraken, and what that means is that I'm kind of a flyer. I'm like a ranged damage dealer, so I'm going to go ahead and bait them into a more open area because I don't like to fight in the caves, just because it's not one of my strengths. And apparently these guys don't want to follow me. And so each hunter has a specific role. So there's support, there's a damage dealer, and there's a medic and a trapper. So the trapper's goal is to try and contain the monster once you find it. And the assault's supposed to do damage. The medic tries to keep everybody healthy. And so this medic right now, Lazarus, he can be scary because he can actually res the dead, hence the name Lazarus, which is what he did with Hank there. So he's a very big priority. And so when you knock somebody down the first time, they have a little bit of time to res. And so sorry, I'm going through chat right now and reading questions. I like to use the river whenever there's a daisy because that's the only way you can lose a daisy if you want to be sneaky, is by going through water because it hides your tracks and you don't produce a smell. Yeah, the robots are ridiculous. Like, it's with the AI the way it is, the only reason to go through it is to show off mechanics and learn maps because there is no challenge on them whatsoever. No, Daisy can't. Nope. She actually loses the track. Yeah, any sources of water. So with the dam or the fusion plant, what I would usually do is fly over the tyrant pit, then go up towards through the building because there's that little river that goes through behind the dam. Go up to the dam and then go pick a direction because that will prevent him from following you. Yeah, it's one of the few counters because otherwise Daisy would be just ridiculously good against a sneak, and so they put the water method in there to counter that. However, not all maps have good water pathways, and some of them are like the acid maps, which means you have to go through the acid to get rid of Daisy, but I like to do that because I like to be a little bit sneaky at first, until at least I'm at stage 2. So right now I'm doing a evac mode. So right now you saw that auto balance. That means that there are certain stats given to the loser team to kind of balance things out. We're not quite sure how much each pip is worth. Most people think it's about 5%. So that's 5% more damage that that faction will do, and they also take 5% less damage. And then afterwards, there you choose 2 maps that are adjacent to the place you just fought, and then you can't do the same mode as before. So because the last mode was hunt, now I have to choose a rescue or a nest. And so nest is where the monster has 6 eggs that they're trying to protect, and then rescue has a bunch of colonists that you're trying to rescue. So if you want to go ahead and vote in the chat if you want to see rescue or nest, I will be playing Wraith on this map, so go ahead and cast your vote. At launch. Yeah, so there's going to be 3 monsters at launch, the Goliath, Kraken, and Wraith, and then there's 12 hunters, 3 for each of the 4 different classes. The evidence is that if you actually play, not only does Daisy sit at the river where your last marks were, but it's also been confirmed by devs in the forums. Most maps have liquid. The problem is not all of them are very good. Like, for instance, Distillery, Fusion, and Dam have really good rivers running through them, so it actually is really good for the strategy. But a lot of the acid maps have acid like on the outsides of the map, so it doesn't really help you very well. Nest, nest, rescue, rescue, nest, rescue, nest, rescue, nest, nest, rescue, nest. It looks like Nest won by like 1 or 2 votes. Yes, it has been dev confirmed. A lot of the information I say, if I don't feel 100% confident on it, I won't say anything. But I do ask a lot of questions, and one of the developers, MacMan, who is on the forums a lot, he confirms a lot of the stuff that I do. So because I won that map, there's the water's actually kind of scary, and so there's deadly man-eating eels. So every time you beat a level, depending on if it was a monster win or a hunter win, you get some sort of a map advantage, while the opposing team gets a stat bonus to kind of try and level out the playing field. Evac is not a balanced mode whatsoever. Some of the perks are ridiculous, and some of them are just like, whatever. So these are the 3 different monsters. So there's Goliath. He's kind of like a melee bruiser. He's kind of a cross between King Kong and Godzilla. He's got the ability to throw rocks, to smash and leap and breathe fire and charge. Kraken's kind of more of the range kind of caster type class. He's also very good with area control, especially because of Vortex, Banshee Mines, and Lightning Strikes. And then there's Wraith, and Wraith is kind of like the sneaky assassin. But right now, there are some changes to her because a lot of people think she was really too strong, mostly because of this decoy ability. Basically, you can split off a side of yourself and turn invisible. But my thing with decoy is I hated how much damage it does. Just because if it did 0 damage, I'd be okay with it, because I like it because it makes you go cloaked for a few seconds, so you can get into good combat positions and pounce people. No, actually, Daisy's really good. Ever since, like, the big alpha, she was kind of useless, but ever since the beta, I hate fighting against Daisy because I like to do at least some sneak to try and get to stage 2 as quick as possible, and it's very hard to do that with a good Maggie. And if there's a good Maggie and a good Cabot, you can just give up on sneaking because they will always find you. Yeah, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I spend way too much time figuring mechanics out. Okay, so I like to do 3 points in decoy. My goal with all my monsters is to get to stage 2 as fast as possible. So with Kraken, that means I take Vortex and Banshee. Vortex kills a lot of creatures very well, but also if I get domed, it's a good knockback ability to try and stay away from them and take little damage as possible. With Goliath, it's usually leap and charge, both because they're movement abilities, and also if I get into combat, it knocks people around, and it usually prevents getting a lot of damage. excuse me, with Wraith, it's pretty much the same thing. We're using Decoy to kind of throw them off my scent so I can go somewhere else. So I always usually put 3 points into that. And I really like cooldown reduction and smell range with the Wraith. So the monsters have an ability to call Smell, and what that does is it kind of throws out like a sonar ping, basically, and it's 70 meters in all directions like a sphere, and so it's kind of cool, and so that's how you can see things. But what it is though is being able to see them before they see you means it's a lot easier to outmaneuver them. And so, especially with a character like Wraith, outmaneuvering is really good. So instead of doing cooldown reduction, because I'm not worried about them, I'll show you the smell range. And it's really easy to keep tabs on where the team is and how they can find you. So right now there is no difficulty change. There is one option to increase their damage, but not their behavior. And I don't know if that's going to be in the final build. Supposedly in the final build you can make them easy, medium, and hard. These guys feel like they're on easy. The ones in the beta were a ton better than the ones we fight right now. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Daisy's really good at reviving, especially because the monster usually avoids her sometimes. So, Task, the reason why the best monster players are rarely ever sneaking is just because that's just one of the main strategies that it came from. I'm not saying that it is or isn't the best way, but I don't like being loud. I think that loud just I don't like it as much. I think that you can still be competitive by being sneaky. The problem is the reason why most people, especially the quote-unquote good players, don't do that is because if you get caught with your pants down, not only are you not armoring up, but you're also usually at a disadvantage because you're going more of a sneaky route than just a I'm going to blitz through and eat everything in my path kind of route. Yeah, exactly. Not necessarily Task. I've been in some games where I've been able to sneak out, even against Giant Chiproll, his team, where they only found me like once or twice the entire match, and that was like the first time I tried really sneaking with that. So I think it is viable. It's just a different kind of strategy. But I don't like only sneaking. I'm not an only sneaky kind of person. I like to go between the two. Correct. This is not the nerfed Wraith. I think all hunters are viable street. I think Maggie and Abe are the two best trappers. I think Griffin suffers a little bit, unless the Griffin is very good at tagging the decoy. Because if he can tag the decoy, the Wraith is either forced to eat the damage because everyone knows where it is, or to attack, which destroys the decoy to get away. As for the assaults, they all have their ups and downs. Hide's really good because you can put him on fire so you can see him out of stealth a lot more. So Tobados, it depends. So Pounce isn't necessarily broken. How it is that if the monster is trying to pin you, so it's very, very hard to attack someone like Markov. But other players, if you're getting shot, you're not supposed to be able to pounce them. That's the drawback of it. So you can't just pounce people in the middle of combat for free damage hits. However, the big bug I have with Pounce is that if you keep spamming the click button, even when you're pounced, you can sometimes shoot the monster for some reason because there's a glitch in the animation, and you can get knocked off even if there's no other hunters nearby, and that's what I don't like. I have Markov's mines are really, really good in general, but I feel like the Wraith can clear them a little too easy. They usually do it around 3 p.m. Pacific time, I think, for the dev streams on Friday. Right now, there wasn't Perminator. There's not very many people that have this build to begin with, and most of the people are kind of hitting the hay because they've basically been playing for 24 hours because we got a big wave of keys that got through last night. The big thing with Hyde is I feel like he needs better feedback when you're hitting with your flamethrower. Because it obscures so much vision, it's hard to tell if you're actually hitting or not outside of watching the health bar. And I've said that in the big alpha, excuse me, that I would love to have better feedback on his gun. Oh, sorry, I'm just answering questions. So yeah, let me go ahead and actually get into the game. I'm sorry. Yeah, the biggest thing that assaults can do is be aggressive, especially when your personal shield is up. Hold on a second. Sorry, I get really bad kind of asthma, coughing fits in winter. Okay. Oh yeah, this is Nest. So this is a really good start for me. I got a movement speed buff from this guy. So this will allow me to find food faster. So my goal in this game is to get up to stage 2 as fast as possible, and then hatch an egg and then go in and engage. Which map am I? I don't even remember. I really need to pay attention to the maps and stuff a bit more. So this is decoy. So the decoy will go ahead, and I'm just going to eat this body while it goes and engages the stupid Mega Mouth. Ooh, and I will actually take this perk, because this perk is how fits my playstyle, because now I do extra pounce damage, which I really like with the Wraith. It's one of the few times I really like the pounce, because I don't really like it most of the time. Did that thing really just dodge? That was awesome. Okay, so I see that they're engaging the one over here. Which means I want to be somewhat close to them when they're done killing it. I just need one more food. Oh yeah, and that's right, I have spell range, so I can see things a lot farther. So I can see them way far off in the distance now. See that little silhouette? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spawn this guy as a minion, which gives me a little Goliath. They'll go out and help seek out the hunters. And this one's relatively close because it looks like they're going to be heading to that one. Oops. Oh, good, and the AI are engaging this. So I'm going to go ahead and use decoy, and then I'm going to get in a position and kill Val here. Oh, that stupid monkey knocked me off. Yeah, Val and Hank and Kyra and Hank are really, really tanky. Yeah, it's called the Beam Team. So if you hear the phrase Beam Team, Hank and Val, because Val has a green heal beam and Hank has a blue shield beam, and so they're sometimes called the Beam Team, and they're pretty good. They're more scents and pheromones than anything else. They're not really footprints, Taco. A lot of my speculation is because she has the ability to warp and phase out of reality, that's the residual energy from behind. At least that's my theory. I don't know if that's actually what it is in the game or not. But it seems to make sense. Double Dutch. Okay, so another vote time. I'm going to go ahead and make sure my son's okay. Go ahead and let me know in chat with it, whether you want hunt or rescue, and then what monster, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so we've got hunt, rescue, hunt, 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 rescue, hunt. So it looks like hunt and Goliath. Okay, hunt and Goliath it is. So the portals I'm not a big fan of because it's hard to tell where they're going to teleport you from. Oh, I got EMP blasts. But as the hunter, having the portals is really good because they always take you to the central location, I believe. So Goliath, because I like to kind of get to stage 2 as fast as possible, I like to do 2 charge and 1 leap. Just because charge and leap kind of give me that mobility and distance modifier. With Goliath, I like... I used to take stamina recharge a lot, but I don't like it as much in the since the beta. So I like damage resistance, just because if I do get trapped at stage 1, it's really hard to do permanent damage to me if I'm moving around and using my abilities a lot. Cooldown reduction is pretty good, and then I also always like smell range is a big one of mine. I hate armor regen. I don't like it very much at all. This is only really good if you're like ridiculously sneaky, as in like you sit in bushes for 2 minutes at a time to refill your armor. So if you do get caught, but I'm not a big fan of this one, to be honest. So I will choose cooldown. Stop the dome. Yeah, I do. I am randomizing. So the hunters I'm fighting now in game 3 is 2, 1, 2, 3. So 2, 1, 2, 3. So Laz 2, 1. Wait, didn't I already do the 2, 1, 2, 3? Yeah, that was my first game. Okay, so the next one on the list is 1, 2, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 2. So Griffin, Bucket, Val, and Purnell. Okay, that looks a bit better. So we know that the hunters have 16 health, or 1600 health. We know a few of the damage abilities. MacMan posted a thing. The highest damage ability is a stage 3 rock throw, which does 800 damage. So it does 50% of a non-downed hunter evenly. Exactly, LaRoque. Yeah, this is definitely a showcase. This is just awful. Okay.
This is Evan Star Lieutenant Fernando Ruiz calling the Lorian. Please come in. We've captured a wraith, but it's attracted another monster. Please help. Our work. We are very close to reproducing the wraith's translocation field.
No, it is not. I believe it used to be in the big alpha because it was very strong then, but it got lowered. I don't know if it was ever as strong as rock throw. I don't think it ever was, but it's significantly lower now. juicy colonists for me to eat on. How thankful. Be carrying birds. Not gonna go for that buff. Oh, that guy's there. So that buff that I would have gotten was an armor regen one, which is not a very good perk in my opinion. At least not with this playstyle. And this one gives me poison. Let's do Fire Breath. Yeah, this build, like, the beta was a little bit less frame ratey, but this one seems really good. Oh, did I miss somebody? Oh, there they are. Fuck it. So there's 3 monsters, Dizzy. So stage 3 lightning actually does it. I'll go ahead and show you in the next one how much the lightning does, but it's actually not the highest damage. As for Nico, I absolutely think the game is worth $60, but your mileage may vary. I really like the game. I like the concept. It feels very good. But everyone's different. Everyone values not only value, but also what kind of games that they like. Yeah, so Rock Throw does 800 damage. I think the Lightning, I'd have to go look at that thread, but I want to say it's like 675 or 650 or 700, something like that. Yeah, the characters change very significantly. I know, yeah, stupid bots, they're terrible. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, the AI in this game, like, I have my theories. I'm thinking that the AI was toned down for the press release because they wanted to advertise the game, and it wouldn't necessarily be a great marketing move if the people that originally got the press release a while ago, which was even before the beta, that they kept on losing and things like that. So I don't know if that was it, or if they just amped it up for the beta, but there have been significant tweaks, and I've seen what really good AI do. So once more in chat, go ahead and vote for Rescue or Nest, and the next monster, and I'll start answering some more questions that I'm going through right now. Yeah, the AI monster's not terrible. Yeah, I had about 220 earlier Zenarias, but a lot of people are going to bed now. Yeah, so 3 monsters, 12 hunters at release. They do have DLC planned. For instance, the 4th monster is called the Behemoth, and we've seen a silhouette of the 4th tier of hunters, but we don't know any information about them except one has a bird. Absolutely, Task. No, so here, I'll go ahead and show you that Task. I'll go ahead and do a Kraken, and I'll show you that it does less than 50%. Nest Kraken. Nest. Okay, so we're doing Nest Kraken. Just so I'll show you the lightning strike. But yeah, it used to be really good. It's not that it's not good anymore. I just think that they lowered the damage a little bit too much. Nest Behemoth. I'd love to try it out. Yeah, there's a forum, Laroque. You can see one of the threads. It's a 4th tier speculation or 4th tier hunters, one of the two. Okay, and so for this one, I am going for... where's my dice? 2-1-1-1. Okay. Apparently, I am doing a Laz, then Hank, and all them. Okay. Deploy. And this was Okay, Nest. Yeah, I like that Aliens reference as well, Perminator. Oh, thanks for that, Voxus. Yeah, without any damage buffs, yeah. 35% damage buff Lightning Strike is very freaking good. Yes, absolutely. So damage amp actually has a cap on how much bonus damage you can do. It's 1,000. So orbital in general does good damage, so you're going to suck up a lot of the energy from it. And so, I mean, it's just an extra 1,000 bonus damage up front. I have no idea where they are. There they are. So, minion, don't kill them all. I need to find a full health one so I can do a lightning strike. Like, hey. See? Not quite. It's about 35-40%. Get away from that, Daisy. So to answer you killing, this is actually a press release. The developers were gracious enough to honor me with a copy a couple weeks earlier just because of my commitment to their forums and some of the things I've been helping out with them for. So stealth works the same for all monsters. If you sneak, you move slower and you're kind of more hunched over, and you don't leave footprints. That's true for all of the monsters, and you're just slower. So it's the mechanics are fundamentally the same. Take care, Laroque. I hope that you got enough interest in this. Yeah, that baby. He's awesome. He likes to sit on my lap and watch me play. He loves watching me play the monster. The reason why, Justin, is because they tried it before, and from a technical standpoint, it was just easier because if you're playing as Kraken, you want the minions to be able to soak up damage, and that doesn't really help if you're playing Wraith or Krakens because they stay back or they're more kind of sneaky. So in the end, it was voted that it felt better to have the Goliaths because they're kind of the melee people, and they'll actually engage the generators. Because if you had nothing but Krakens, imagine 3 Krakens from different sides all using lightning strike on the generator. That would really be gay because the minions do enough damage as it is. Oh, a stealthy playstyle? Pretty much like anything else. You just kill quietly and things like that. If you get domed, I like to use Vortex and just keep knocking people around. Usually either the Trapper and or the Assault if possible, because my goal is not to get damage, it's basically just to survive. So I'll be moving around and things like that, but I'm not quite sure what you mean specifically. Hey, Tom. Hey, Skater. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and try a Goliath, because I've already whomped the AI retarded amounts of time with Kraken on this mode that it's like not even funny. So I'm going to go ahead and try some other things. So let's do and then do I want Fire Breath or Leap Smash? Let's do I kind of like Fire Breath actually, because I don't need movement as much. And then we'll do Leap Smash a bit more. And then in here, I'll definitely do cooldown reduction. Okay, customize team. So this time I ran out of dice rolls, and I'm too lazy to click the button, so I'm just going to go like this. So we got a Kyra, a Cabot, not me, I'm fine. A Maggie. Oh, Maggie. And a Markov. Okay. A Rubius.
New Calico reporting. The transport ship is nearly ready to launch, but we're running short on time. We need another moment or two to finish fueling, but the monsters are on our doorstep. Hold them off, and all of humanity will owe your team a drink.
So you can see my minions in the background. So on this mode, I'm supposed to be attacking 3 different locations or 3 generators before blowing up their ship. And so that's my goal. well, I already have a cooldown that I don't really care about. So that has a perk, and while the perk is good, I'm valuing speed right now so I can get to the generator and start doing damage before they get here, and then I might go back for it. There's a dead end there. So it's weird that they're going after me and not helping out the generator. Like I said, the AI in this isn't really spectacular. We had a really good match earlier, though, with this. With defend. It was really close. But I feel like the monster has an extreme advantage, especially if you play Kraken. I just feel like that there's very little that the hunters can do outside of the monster making some really bad play mistakes. This is a damage perk one. Oh my gosh, okay, this is GG. So I already have 23% cooldown because of the perk I picked at the beginning, and this will give me 35% more damage, so I'm just going to be like smashing their faces in. There you go. There's defend for you. Yes, so there are 4 game modes: Hunt, Rescue, Nest, and Defend. Evac is a combination of all of them, kind of like a little mini campaign. Whereas the Hunt is what the game is really all about. Yeah, unfortunately the beta is over. It makes me sad too. It was very, very enjoyable. Yep, February 10th. So Valentine's weekend. Spread love through the art of monster killing. So all that bonus XP I got was because of the evac mode. And then you also have masteries. I don't think I mentioned masteries. So masteries, how they work is that the more you use a skill, the longer or the better it gets. So fire breath gets a longer duration the more I use it. Leap smash, I haven't been doing enough to actually level. Well, I haven't played a lot of Goliath then. And I've already got the charge. So I rock throw and charge. Charge gets better range, and rock throw gets more damaged. And then I can unlock badges that way as too. But what fire breath? So right now to level up fire breath, I have to deal multiple target damage 175 times. That means getting multiple people in the same fire breath. Same thing with leap smash and rock throw. Generally, the first tier is basically do X amount of damage. Then the next one is do X amount of damage or things with multiple people. And then the other ones that are kind of the hard masteries is a little bit harder. So fire breath, I have to do 80,000 damage to hunters that are flying or jetpacking. Leap smash is I have to hit somebody from 20 meters 50 times. That one's actually not bad at all. Rock throw is another one you have to hit in midair, and then charge I have to damage multiple hunters several times. And then you unlock badges, and if you get all of those, you unlock a different skin that you can choose. So supposedly, I need to check that out. Supposedly I have skins unlocked with these guys, but I haven't seen them yet. And this is kind of a summary where you see like the score and everything like that. It's a fantastic game, Wyoming. It's awesome. I love it. Yep, I will agree with you, Tobido's Gamer. The alpha and beta were better than some AAA game releases, and that's pretty funny. So this is the score. So it shows that I got past all the levels. I killed the hunters 16 times. I did 88,000 worth of damage. They fired 2,400 shots. I killed 60 wildlife, and then so on and so forth. And so this is kind of a nice little, kind of fun little score system or whatnot. This is not actually supposed to be dollars. It's supposed to be called keys, which is the currency that Shear uses. And I don't know what the currency rate is of like how much one key is to anyone else. Although if it was a beta key, it'd probably be worth quite a lot.